What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Real Spit from the Gangsta Gone Legit. Today I have the honor of interviewing my big brother, the infamous Palmer Woodberry. What's up, bro? Oh man, it's good to see you, man. Good to have you on this platform.
Absolutely.
So Palmer, I want to let the people know who you are, your background, you know, where you come from and stuff like that. So we want to start like this up. So where'd you grow up at?
Originally, I'm from the Academy Home.
Academy Home. Okay,
Yeah.
that's my hood. So that's why I said it's the big homie.
Yeah. And then my second home is prison.
It's prison. Wow. So first home is Academy Home. Second home is prison.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long did you do in prison?
27 and a half years.
27 and a half years.
Yeah.
Wow. 27 and a half years. Now, my brother went from being a notorious stick-up kid in the streets of Boston, very well respected, very feared, to today, a very well respected businessman. We're gonna have him tell you his journey from the beginning. So I want you to take us back to the prison days. So how did you hold up in prison? How did you do your bid? That's a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, let me back up first before I even got there. Right. When I left school, this is where it started at, right, with education. I left school in the 4th grade. And the reason why I left school in the 4th grade is because I used to get good grades. But when I got to the 5th grade, graduated to the 5th grade, the teachers told my parents that I can't pass. Barely. Like I went from A's and B's to a C. And I can pass. But she thought that it would be best that I repeat the grade, right? And for some reason, my parents agreed. I wasn't feeling that. For one reason, I wasn't feeling that. For 2 reasons, really. Now, the 3rd grade kids are in the 4th grade with me, and the 4th grade kids in the 5th grade. So every day I was trying, or I was supposed to go to school, I was really hanging out in the streets. And I ended up getting turned out in the streets.
So is that because you felt out of place?
Yes, absolutely. And so for me, that's when it started. And so when I started playing hooky and I got caught in the game, you know, and it just went bad from there real quick. You know, I can remember in 1979 was the first time I went to DYS. 1980, I got out of DYS. 81, I went back to DYS. 82, I caught a murder.
1982.
Yeah, 83, I was in Walpole with a life sentence.
How old was you?
I was barely 15.
Whoa, so you went from you said the 4th grade, you didn't like the fact that they wanted to keep you back.
Right.
And that's where it all started with you becoming rebellious?
Well, that's when because I wasn't really into the streets. Like I was my mommy's baby. But because I was hooked in school, when I was supposed to be going to school, I wasn't going to school. So now I'm hanging in the streets. And now I'm meeting older people that, all the kids are in school.
Right.
So now I'm getting turned out to the game. You know?
So what was it that you were doing? Like, were you selling drugs? Were you?
Nah,
what was your thing?
I never was into drugs. I didn't know the value of drugs. I wanted like jewelry, clothes, stuff like that. So I was seeing the drug dealers who had them things, and I was taking it from them.
Okay. And did you discriminate when you were in the street, or was anybody your fool?
Nah, it wasn't no discrimination. It definitely wasn't no discrimination. At the age of 14, I got shot with a 12-gauge shotgun from hitters from New York and Detroit. So I was out there like that.
So they put a hit on you?
Yes.
Wow. 14 years old. So, so from what I understand, the homework that I've done on you, because, again, like I said, this is the big homie. I heard, man, that you were nice with that, and that you had people from every neighborhood afraid when you came out there because they knew what it was about.
I think it was more or less that they wasn't afraid of me. They wanted to make money. That era was the drug era.
Right. This is the 80s we're talking about?
Yes, and you had the Bomb Boys and the Cat Boys. They really took over Boston, right? From New York and Detroit. Okay. And they was more interested in making money, but because I was a stick-up kid, they couldn't go to war and make money.
Okay, so you
So it was
caused a threat.
a compromise that they used to pay me not to hit the blocks, right?
Right.
And to the point where, now I'm thinking that's like, well, they scared of me? So I upped the ante. And when I upped the ante, they upped the ante. And that's when the hitters came in, and now it's mad war and, back and forth. The block is shut down, and I killed someone.
Right.
And I end up in Walpole
With a life bid.
with a life sentence.
And that's a blessing that he's here today to share that story. So this man went from having a life bid at the age of 15 years old to now standing here, and you're at least, where are you at today? 49?
No, I'm 54.
54 years old. 54.
Yeah.
Wow. So you still have a lot of life left. And that's a blessing, because a lot of people don't get to see the other side. Once you get that life bid, usually that's it. So you were blessed to come up out of that.
It was a miracle.
It was a miracle.
So what happened was, when I went to Walpole, I couldn't read or write. But a young man named Raymond Gaines, and we used to call him Paps. I walked into prison, and I remember him saying to me, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And I said, shut the fuck up, old man. So I went to the yard, and that day, when it was time to count, we got locked in our cells, and this is my first day in Walpole. And they opened up the doors, and he was there. And he had a book. And he threw a book at me, and he said, read this, but I couldn't read. So I threw the book back at him, and he sucker punched me. And when he sucker punched me, he threw the book back at me, and he said, read the book. And now I'm scared. And I'm trying to read, but I can't read, and I'm looking for him for help. And he sucker punched me again, and now I'm conscious, but I'm almost out. And I remember him saying to another guy, Nate Atkins, tutor him, and he left. And this is how I learned how to read and write. This guy used to come in my cell every day with books. The cat ran down the street, with book pads where I wrote big P's and little P's, big A's and little A's. I literally got taught like this. And when I learned how to read and write, it wasn't sudden. It was just decades going by. He put me in the Nation of Islam, took me out of the Nation of Islam, put me in the 5%, took me out of the 5% of Islam, Sunni, Shiite, Baptist, Protestant, Catholic, Methodist, right? And then I went to astrology, and I learned, and before I knew it, I had a vast amount of knowledge. And then one day he asked me, did I believe in God? I said, fuck God, there's no such thing as God. He said, well, let's go searching for him. And I learned about the heavens and the earth, and how fast the earth spit on his axis, and my life just took off, and I was a different person.
Wow.
Right? I just, I wasn't the old Palmer no more.
He force-fed the knowledge to you, literally.
But here go the kicker. I'd never seen him again after that.
What are you talking about?
We just, like, I got shipped to another joint, or he got shipped to another joint, and we never seen each other again.
So that was...
He was the angel in my life.
I was just getting ready to say that, brother. I was just getting ready to say that.
Manifest the real me. Now, this is how deep this was. Years later, his co-defendant, Jerry Funderburg, gave a Black History Month. And we had all the people from the street up there, the senators, the congress people, the city councils, right, the professors, and it was a blackout, right? And Jerry came up to me and said, Palmer, you got the best gift of gab I ever heard. You have to entertain the people, right, until we can get these lights on. So I stripped the heavens and the earth. And I built the sun, moon, and stars, and, the earth. I made it spin on its axis, and I built man, and I built Adam, right? And when the lights came back on, a lady said, you're a hard act to follow. You're a genius. And everybody started clapping, and she said, you have to get out. We need you on the street. I said, I can't. I have a life sentence. She said, oh, you out of here. This was Senator Diane Wilkerson. Wow. She pulled the dream team together, overturned my conviction, and I got a second chance in life.
Wow, did y'all get it? That, man, I got goosebumps right now, bro. You said, because as soon as you mentioned about, what was his name? Paps.
Raymond Gaines.
It sounds to me, man, like that had to be your angel, man. No ifs, ands about it. He just disappeared after he showed you the way, and then you went from not knowing how to read or write to becoming a genius.
Check this out, right? God works through you to work for you. So I had multiple spirits going through multiple entities to work for me. This wasn't only Paps. Again, decades later, his co-defendant, Jerry Funderburg, right? Gave a Black History, which triggered me meeting Diane Wilkerson, right? Which got me out. Now, she didn't only get me out, she pulled the dream together. So I owe all of these people a gratitude. Diane Wilkerson, Gloria Fox, Chuck Turner, Felix Arroyo, Professor Owens, you know, all of these people pulled all of their resources without knowing me.
Wow. And they were just impressed from the first time she met you.
This is how deep this was. She asked me, Diane Wilkerson, before she helped me, she said, if I help you, what would you do? It took me 2 years to respond to her. I've never thought about what I would actually do if I had the chance to do it.
Why is that?
Because she didn't want to take a chance and I go out there and kill someone else.
Right.
This is her name and her reputation at stake.
No, I'm saying,
right?
why did it take you 2 years to think
Because
about
I
that?
never thought about, you know, when you're a little kid, someone should say, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Then when you grow up, someone should say, well, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Yeah.
I've never asked myself them questions. So when she asked me that question, I couldn't just say something off the top of my head as I had to think about it. And it took me 2 years to respond to her. And after I responded to her, she said, don't worry about it, I got you. Right? Because the response that I gave her was an adequate response.
Right.
You know? So prison to me, it was bad and it was good.
So let's talk about the bad, because a lot of people talk about, I've heard people say that it's good, and in my experiences there were some things that was good. So tell us what was bad and what was good.
Well, when I got to prison, right, I still maintained assaultive behavior for a long period of time, right? And when I got into problems with the police, fighting the police, you know, they started riding on me, tear gas and sicking dogs on me. My first time in the hole was for 10 years.
You were locked up in a hole for 10 years?
10 years straight. And so when I was learning how to read and write, one of the things, see, what changed me, right, is when you open up your horizons, I read about slavery. That necessarily didn't change me. That made me mad as hell.
Right.
But when I read the civil rights movement, when people was fighting for me to have simple rights, and I wasn't even born yet,
Right.
I felt this fucking big. I felt like an asshole, right? Here I am squandering, you know, opportunities, right? Mass opportunities, right? For people who died for me, right? And instantly I said, I'll never do that again. I'll never harm my community again. I stopped smoking, drinking, any device I got rid of instantly, you know, and I changed my life.
Wow.
You know?
And so, before we talk about the change, I want you to give because for the people who are out here now, the young brothers, I want you to talk directly to them and let them know why this prison life and street life is not for them.
Well, check this out. It's only two outcomes: death or imprisonment. Either way, it's a spiritual death or a physical death, right? I mean, why would you want someone to tell you when to fucking eat, when to shit, when to take a shower, you know, when to sleep, when to wake up, you know? Why would you want that?
That's good. Yo, you've heard it first, man, and you heard the truth. That was real spit from Palmer Woodberry. That's part one, though, y'all. We're going to have part two, because we have to talk about where he's at today.